glowing pink trees, and the squares beneath it were crowded with Hope's handwritten notes and reminders. If Ethan ignored wall calendars, Hope relied on them, the ink-filled squares evidence of the fullness of their lives. She was a planner by nature. For her, the shapelessness of the past 15 months, the inability to look forward, had been one of the hardest parts. "And this is happening tomorrow," Ethan said. "Right." Hope turned on the faucet, holding a finger under the tap until the water ran hot. "I'm assuming I'm not going," he said. "Or did you forget to mention that, too?" "Oh, I figured you wouldn't want to," Hope said, knowing this was true. Ethan had gone to previous Walthrop reunions, but never appeared to particularly enjoy them, and had never attended his own reunions, or even seemed to see the point. Maybe because he now worked in academia, he was no longer able to summon any nostalgia for his own alma mater, a Tier 1 university 15 times the size of Hope's cozy liberal arts college. His relationship to higher education had become largely managerial. A history professor turned dean of the humanities department, chair of the academic crisis task force last spring. "But you're taking the kids," he said. It was more a statement than a question, and the part of the conversation Hope had been dreading most. "No, actually," she said, doing her best to sound casual as she pulled open the dishwasher. "Just me." Ethan pinched one arm of his glasses, a square, two-toned pair Izzy had chosen for him online, and resettled them on his face. "What?" "I just thought it would be simpler." He gave a short laugh. "For whom?" Hope had rehearsed her reasons. "It's too big an event to bring them to," she told him, rinsing a handful of forks. "Too much too soon. And your semester is officially over, right?" This was all true, too. Though things seemed to be, finally, thankfully, getting back to normal, and the college was taking plenty of precautions, she could argue it was still safer to leave the kids at home. And in theory, Ethan now had some room in his schedule. The week before, he'd attended a modified version of commencement, addressing the graduates and their guests, who sat sprinkled across the football field. "It is," Ethan said. "But I was planning to get back to working on my book." Hope concentrated on slotting plates in the dishwasher, wanting to point out that Ethan was always working on his book. That Ethan was always working, period. As soon as the academic year wound down, there was the book, A History of Global Transportation, perpetually urgent and perpetually unfinished. Admittedly, in normal times, Hope didn't mind that Ethan was so busy. He worked on campus, and she stayed home. It was a lifestyle made possible by the generosity of her parents, who had quietly helped them out with down payments and private school tuitions and 3 years of fertility treatments. Of course, taking care of the kids and house was hard work too, more so than Ethan ever seemed to realize. But Hope was aware of the perks that came with it. The moments of solitude on a weekday, a glass of Pinot Grigio, a midday TV show, an hour spent curled with a book in the sun. Pockets of stolen peace and pleasure in exchange for keeping everything running. In the past year, of course, that alone time had disappeared. The separate parts had all merged. Work and home, Ethan's life, her life. They'd never spent so much time together, not even when they were first dating. Hope prying Ethan away from his research for happy hour with her coworkers from the PR firm, or takeout at her Center City apartment. Now, Ethan was deeply around, yet deeply absent. Most days spending 14 hours in his office upstairs, emerging irritable and exhausted, and leaving Hope to deal with everything else. So, as much as Hope wanted to take offense when he objected to her leaving for the weekend, the truth was that she had purposefully waited to tell him, afraid that to mention it sooner would complicate her plans. "I'm sorry," Hope said. "I really thought you knew about it." She perched the wine glasses in the upper rack of the dishwasher. "But it should be an easy weekend. I already went to the store." Not that she could remember the last time Ethan had shopped for groceries. Even last year, it was always Hope who braved.